Greetings, everyone. Core here, and it's that time again. It's time for another midnight review. And this week I went to go see Prometheus, which I was really looking forward to this. I liked all the Alien movies, even the third and the fourth, which a lot of people would say are the worst. There, even though I think they're still good. I like them. Of course, number two is the best, probably tied with the first one, of course. But a lot of people, when they think of Alien, the series, the franchise, they always think of Aliens, which is the second one, because the colonial marines and everything like that, and of course the weapon that they have that's freaking. They need another robotic arm just to hold it, which is pretty badass. Um, but yeah, so this movie, going into it, I mean, I've seen the movies, I've seen the Alien movies, I've seen the Predator movies, I've seen the Alien versus Predator movies, so I know quite a bit about the whole Alien background and the universe that it is in, and this really gave a lot of more information. It's kind of like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where it's like, okay, you know Planet of the Apes, you know this, but it's like you don't know really, and this movie really tells you you don't know the whole history of it, and this is what really happened, and this is the history. So that's what this does. It's kind of like a Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It's almost as good. I mean, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I would put it, if I have to use whole numbers, I would put it at 10. Just because it would be like a 9.5, 9.6 if I did decimals and stuff. But I like whole numbers, so I round up and it's a 10. There's really nothing I faulted at. If I did, there's like tiny little nitpicks, but this movie's more like an 8 out of 10. It is like an 8.2, 8.3 kind of thing, but it's rounding down, and it's close to a 10. Uh, it's just like just minor stuff, but it's like I kind of wanted it to be an extra half an hour longer. Like I wish it was longer, and I feel like the director's cut. I'm sure there's gonna be a director's cut when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. Um, I feel like it's gonna be like another half an hour, and it's gonna fill you in on so much more. Um, but yeah, so basic story: a group of scientists find archaeologists. I can't talk. It's late. Um, they find this cave that has a whole bunch of drawings and stuff, and they've studied all their ancient cultures and stuff, and they found the same kind of star pattern, planet pattern, anyways. And they're like, these predate like tens of thousands of years ago, and they managed to hook this. They managed to get this company to help them pay for the expedition to go to this planet. It's 2 years, couple months of like actual time passing by. So they're in the sleep chambers while an android runs around and takes care of them and keeps maintenance on the ship and stuff like that. So it gets right into it. There's not too much. There's maybe 10, uh, 15 minutes right at the beginning where it's just setting it up so they could leave to go to this planet, and then they wake up literally maybe 15, 20 minutes into the movie, and they're on the planet. It's really gets straight to the planet, which is I liked it. It didn't feel rushed at all, even though it was fast, and it was really well paced. The whole movie, I will admit that it was really well paced because it's 2 hours long. Did not feel like 2 hours long. Um, Felt more like an hour really, just because it kept me on the edge of my seat. It really kept me interested, and I went in this going. I was pretty tired going in, but it woke me up. I would say that. But so yeah, so they get there, they find this dome, they explore the dome, they realize there's this other side little mission with the android, and then the owner of the company that hired him and stuff like that, and then the daughter is on the ship of the old man that hired him, and then it's you see it coming. I mean, I guess I am spoiling it, but I guess not. Uh, Actually, I shouldn't because I don't want to spoil anything. Uh, I hate that when it's not spoiling. But yeah, so I'm not gonna spoil anything here. I will recommend seeing this movie. IMDb has it at a 7.8, which I think is very well rated. IMDb usually hits the mark when on their ratings, especially the user ratings. The critics have it around that. I think on Rotten Tomatoes, some of the critics have it about 73%, which is just short, just shy of that 7.8. But critics are always very nitpicky. They never rate comedies high. Maybe once every decade they rate a comedy high, and it's really like it was a little bit above average comedy, but like all these other movies they rate them so low. But yeah, this one's well worth it. I mean, I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10. It's a like 8.4, 8.3, but I use whole numbers, so it's an 8 out of 10. And Prometheus is a lot like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, to the franchise at least. It really gives you a lot of information, just like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where you thought you knew a lot of the mythology, but then they just pretty much turn you on your head and they're like, nope, this is really the mythology. And they give you a lot of good information. It's really interesting the way it's done, because in a way there's like backstabbing and stuff like that. There's different missions everyone's on. Each character gets a nice amount of screen time, except for the first few people who die, which you still get at least their character and personality out of it before they get offed. And I will admit, and I will spoil this, the black guy is not the first one to die, which I think that's a big milestone. He's one of the last few people. Um, but yeah, it's a really good movie, and it has a great cast. I didn't feel anyone really was bad. Like last week's review, where Snow White and the Huntsman, where Kristen Stewart just was, she was horrible. She just can't act, especially in that role that she was supposed to play. She just can't act. And in this one, everyone played the role. The main star, which IMDb puts her Naomi Rap Rapace, I believe that's how you say her last name. She's, I guess, the main star, even though yeah, yeah, she has the most screen time at least. Um, but really, it doesn't feel like this movie really has a main star, and that I like that, because everyone gets their amount of screen time. I mean, there's two, three, there's at least 5 to 7 people that get a decent amount of screen time, which is hard to do, I believe. I think that's really hard to do when you write a screenplay or a story, giving that many people enough screen time to get the personalities out, to show that they have inner demons and stuff like that. I think that's really hard to do, and I like to take note from this because I would like to one day make a screenplay and stuff like that. But that's later on. Maybe I'll do a video about it. But the story I have, because I could do about a half an hour story of the story I have. I just gotta write it down. So yeah. So back to my story. Back to the movie review. Prometheus. Go see it. If you've seen the Alien movies, do not hope to see a lot of tie-ins as far as the prequels. It's kind of like I said, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where there's a few nods, but I would say it's not enough for the true fan of the Aliens series. But it's enough so they don't complain. Like it's not quite as, I think it's not as much as they want, but it's enough so they won't complain. Um, but yeah, and especially if we haven't seen the Alien movies, definitely go see it. I think I think it's a good starter. It's kind of like I said, it's like Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Um, it's supposed to be a prequel because the timeline of it, and I think it covers it really well. And there's so much information. It's really suspenseful. It's really good. I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to recommend it to all my friends because I'm usually the one for the summer that I go see them first before them. So until next time, guys. Later.